All right. Coach Nika, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello.
Hi there. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. I'm Coach Nika, or otherwise Miss Nika, and I am the program specialist for Montgomery College Partnerships. I work mainly with MC students, and I've been with College Tracks for 6 years. Actually, I got to start saying 6.5 years now. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to learn from my amazing colleagues, and thank you all students for being here today.
Coach Rachel.
Hello, everybody. My name is Miss Rachel. I am the Assistant Director of the Success Program and also work with students who are attending Montgomery College and four-year schools, and love this work. And I'm super excited to learn about this, actually, because I am a little behind on creating my own good LinkedIn profile. So look forward to this.
Coach Fneese.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think you can see me. My calendar is acting a little crazy. My camera is acting crazy. Good afternoon. My name is Coach Fneese. I am the partnership specialist for four-year partnerships, as well as a success coach for four-year schools. Been here for almost 5 years now, and so glad that we're having this opportunity today. Thank you to the coaches who are presenting, and let's go.
Miss Jenny.
Hi, everyone. I'm Miss Jenny. I'm the College Success Director, and I echo Miss Fneese. I want to thank Miss Victoria and Mr. Joe, and who else is helping with it? Nicole. Miss Nicole, for setting this up. I was just saying to Victoria when you all got on that I'm really excited about this workshop. I think I'm going to learn a lot, and I hope you do too.
Coach Bijou.
Hi, I'm Coach Bijou. I work primarily with my four-year students, and I'm excited to learn more about LinkedIn, especially. Welcome, everyone, and can't wait to learn.
Coach Dennis.
Hello, everyone. I am Coach Dennis. Welcome. Very excited about this workshop. LinkedIn is something that is, I think, a very powerful tool. So I think it's good even for us as coaches to learn a little bit more. So excited about that. I work with our students at community colleges, and I have been here for going on almost 5 years in May. Thank you.
Coach Joe.
Good afternoon, everyone. Coach Joe. I'm really glad to be here today working with four-year students. For those who are going to be watching this later, great opportunity to learn more. It's a great opportunity to learn more about professional writing as you're looking for opportunities. So thank you for coming today, and I look forward to sharing some just information about LinkedIn.
And Coach Nicole.
Hi, everyone. My name is Coach Nicole. I work with four-year students, and I'm excited to share some information with you all today.
All right, and I'll briefly introduce myself. You know me because I am your coach, but I am Coach Victoria, and I work with you at MC. And I've also been here for about 3 years. All right, so let's jump into it. So just to get started, I'm going to ask if everybody could please have their video on. Please remain muted when you're not speaking. And let's be present. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. So very quickly, or slowly, breathe in for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I hope that today you will learn at least one thing. And now I'm going to turn it over to Coach Joe.
Thank you. I know as a team, we've really been looking forward to this. LinkedIn is a very powerful tool, as someone stated, and this is just a day to really introduce. Many of you have maybe started it, already have one, maybe did one for a project in high school or as a freshman, and maybe you haven't used it, or you just want to expand upon that. So I think, like with everybody, it's something that you'll continue to do. So it's just not a one-time thing because you'll have more experiences, more things to add. So, what is LinkedIn? It's a database for professionals. So many of us use social media to just connect and reach out to people, but it's a very professional way to just present yourself, to learn more about many things like job searching. So they have internships, scholarships, all different type of information that you can see on there on a daily basis that we'll go over. It's also a place to host your resume. Many of you are working with your coaches or your career centers to have resumes or looking for internships or entry-level jobs. It's a great place to post that too, so that if someone were to search you or you could share your link, that they'll see that as well. But it's also like an elaborative way of having a resume. So it gives you more, I would say, like more fruit to the tree than just words and bullet points. Social network. So you'll see us coaches on there. We have a College Tracks network page, but you also see alumni, high school friends, family, other coworkers, and for me, even just following people that you're interested in, learning more about different companies you'll see as well. So, and then the nice thing about LinkedIn is it is also a learning platform. So you're able to take some courses that build skills, and you will even go over this more when you'll be able to get endorsed based on either public speaking, communication, all things that tie into your major and your goals. So you're really able to form it, to filter it to allow it so you can see and show what you want people to see. So on to the next slide. So why use LinkedIn? And I've just really been passionate about that with my caseload as well as our other coaches, as we're all kind of getting more into it. There's so many companies on there. Any company you could probably think of, even your colleges. You'll be able to look up University of Maryland, Towson, Salisbury, wherever school you go to will be on there. You'll see a lot of information that's going on in the news with COVID or programs or partnerships. But going back to companies, Nike, Coca-Cola, whatever it is that you're interested in, you'll be able to follow those organizations and just kind of stay up to date with them. You'll also be able to see those who work for them. Sometimes in my past, I've looked at that and I've looked at people's, like the director, the owner, just kind of see their background and story. So it's a way to kind of be, professionally nosy and also informed, see, what got them there, where they come, but also it just is a place for it only for people that what they want to share. Organizations, so such as College Tracks, we're on there. We'll talk about that later, where we have to network where we can share a lot of opportunities, information, and like I said as well, professionals. So it's a great place. It's people that you have not been around a long time, maybe current classmates. And number two, searching for jobs. Like I said, you'll be able to update your resume, and the great thing about LinkedIn is it'll match your resume with opportunities. So you're able to edit and adjust filter what jobs you're looking for. So they'll see what matches either locally or regionally. It's a great way just to connect with people on a national level. So even recently I've seen internships that are global, different countries, different states. So it's a great opportunity to see what's going on outside of your college and things that you see. 1 second, please. All right, so I'm back. I have a newborn in the house, so I had to see what's going on. But also you'll be able to apply for jobs. So those jobs will be linked on there. You can go to companies and you can go to the job section. And it's not a long time today to share, but this is why you'll schedule with your coach to kind of go through this. Sure to in the job, in the company jobs are available. Companies attach your cover letter and resume. Some of them aren't, where you'll direct you to the site. So next is just, like I said, researching the company. Great way to just stay informed, like I said. Number three is just industrial news. So you'll see what's openings. You'll see different, even politicians, governments, company news, like I said. So it's really like a news feed that you can see. There's an app on your iPhone or Android that you can download, just as you can scan through and just kind of a professional social media to follow. So like, instead of seeing, you're not going to see as many memes on there or anything, but you'll definitely see a lot of productive, positive, professional information. So this right here is a group mind map, and many of us have different needs or maybe possible uses for LinkedIn. Many of you are looking for internships, maybe looking for a job as you're about to graduate. Many of you are looking for professional development opportunities, networking. So, here's a space that we can just mention some things, hear from you all, coaches or scholars of, what you would use LinkedIn for. And I think Victoria will kind of type in some things that we might mention, see things that are common, and also it might spark an idea for you to say, wow, I didn't think of that. So if I'm speaking for myself, I use LinkedIn just to stay on top of on the news, follow different organizations, just so I'm informed about what's going on, and as well as the colleges that I serve. So it's a great way to stay on top of things that are going on with different changes and things on campus. Does anybody else want to share what they might use LinkedIn for, or what they're looking to use it for? Maybe not. Well, actually, I could think of some things. But somebody was going to speak. Tajana?
Yes. So I use LinkedIn also for like different training things. You can get a lot of take classes on LinkedIn. You can get some professional development on LinkedIn and things like that. So I use it for that realm.
Thanks for sharing that.
Mhm.
I use LinkedIn for, this is Coach Beachel. I use LinkedIn to see what other people are reading and paying attention to, because I feel like I don't have time on my own to like look through what's relevant. And also, it's great to see like what my colleagues are up to as a way to stay in touch with them professionally.
Definitely.
Hi, Coach Joe. This is Coach Fenice. I use LinkedIn to stay on top of the professional organizations that I'm in, to see what they're up to, the members who I've connected with there. So it's easier sometimes to find them all in one place.
Awesome. Thank you. I agree.
Were you going to say
And
something?
I was going to share, looking at it from the lens from a college scholar, just want to share, don't be overwhelmed. Like I say, you're going to have a time to meet with your coach. There's so much to go deep into. And I know I'm a visual learner, so we haven't shown you the actual page or whatnot. I do have permission from one of my scholars that has a great resume. I know Jenny knows them. Rachel is Terrence, who's texted me back saying we can share his. He's very organized and has a lot of things that he's doing. But, I only started using LinkedIn 6 years ago, and I'm 37 years old. But I wish I started when I was a high school scholar. It's just a great way to stay informed. Different classmates, alumni, really just catch up with the news and see what's out there. I've been able to connect with people such at a national level. So just want you guys to think really, think small but also big. That it's not too late to start, and you just add one thing by another. So many categories that we'll go over that you can, build your LinkedIn. Just like our resumes, everyone on here, coaches and whatnot, have to update that on a constant basis. So I just wanted to share what I was saying. Just don't feel like, man, I don't have too much to put on there. I haven't had a job. Well, you are in college. You're in college. You're a scholar. You're part of college tracks. You've done things like, be a part of associations, fraternities, groups. The college that you're going to is something you should really be proud of. So I know all the colleges that we work with you are very, very prestigious. And so I think that will give you the upper hand to connect with many people. So anyone else have anything else to share as what they might use LinkedIn for, or what they don't think they can use it for, or anything, that we can discuss right now?
I personally would use LinkedIn for exposure. As a business owner, I would create my own personal profile, and then that would help me not only create the connections that I would need in the community, but also have the opportunity for employees to have a chance to find a job, or they'll fall under the categories of what they're interested in when looking for a job. So I would use LinkedIn for exposure as a business owner.
Awesome. Totally agree. And for myself, I've been in news a couple of times. I have a couple, projects that I've completed. Great way to say like not on paper to really illustrate and show who you are. Post some of any links that you have, any projects, to be able to communicate. And you are able to make more than one page. So you can make a business page, you can make a group page, you can make your personal page. And as I tell many scholars that are graduating, it's a way to stay connected to your coach. So you might graduate from the Success Program, or you might see people from the Access Program. It's a way to keep contact with us, because you'll see on an example page, we can write recommendations for you, just how you were maybe as a student, or maybe I can ask one of my colleagues to write a reference with working with me. So it is a great professional way that someone can go on this link, learn more about you than like to the essay that might not do as much justice until you get to that face-to-face. But you're also able to just to connect with them. So thanks for sharing that. Does anyone want to mention anything else?
I wanted to add that you can get referrals. I know you said that you can reach out to your coaches for recommendation, but somebody on LinkedIn can actually refer you also, which has helped with me in the past, just to get interviews and things like that.
Awesome. Those go a great way. People trust who they trust. So when you can get a referral from somebody, it puts two and two together. People can, reach out, send a message. So you might say, hey, I don't know anyone from, this company. LinkedIn, if you go to a company, it'll show you in a small area, if we have time to get there, who do you know that's connected as well. So say if you go to Nike, they'll tell you that 300 alumni connected to Nike as well. It might narrow it down to, 6 of your friends. So it's similar to Facebook. Like I said, it's a very professional way that you're able to protect yourself, showcase your talent, your work, your goals, and we'll show you how to kind of get started. I don't know for timing, if you want to move on to the next slide at all, or is there anyone else that want to miss anybody? Okay, so setting up. I know there's so many phases and stages where people are, and this might be repetitive. As like I said, this is just the beginning part of LinkedIn. We can obviously make another workshop, kind of deep diving. I think it's a great opportunity if you guys are coming to the speed networking event. If you connect with people, you're able to follow them on LinkedIn, just not have their email. So it's better to stay ready than get ready, right? So if you're setting up your LinkedIn account today and you're like, I have no idea, LinkedIn, the basic membership is put your stuff out there and market it. It's like with, marketing ads, but right now it's basically a free opportunity to sign up. So when you go to linkedin.com, this is one of the first things you say, join or sign up, and you'll just make a professional, profile. So it's a little bit, put your email in. So this is an example. I just started like a fake account. This is Coach Joe, and you'll be able to really just present yourself how you want. Obviously, this is not what my LinkedIn page, would say. My name is Joseph Hook, so that's what would be on LinkedIn. But it's a way to you put your college email, make a password, you describe yourself, your name, whatever you want to say, and then you'll continue. So that's just a first quick few steps. So we kind of just at the beginning of just getting started. Okay. Some of the things, could you like blow it up a little bit, Victoria? It's kind of smaller for the screen.
I don't think I can blow it up. Yeah, I can't blow it up anymore. These are adding in your education and your job preferences.
Yeah, so many of you are obviously in school now. If you're out of school, you're able to put where you're working. So it don't match you where your stage is. There's no judgment in LinkedIn. It'll allow you to where you want to begin. So you'll put your college. You'll put what year you intend to graduate, or if you are or already have. You're able to put that, your major, and then what jobs you're looking for. So if it's, mention many things, and you'll be able to edit this, as years go on. Many of us change our majors or our goals, and many of us don't even work with what we majored in. So it's really flexible. It's really cool. So, this is just the second or third step that you'll do as you start your LinkedIn account, especially even demographics as well. You'll be able to put, where area you're from, so that, companies or other people networking with you can see that, hey, we're in the same county, we're in the same state. Or, I've met somebody from like South Dakota, so it's really cool to see where people are from. So here's like a snapshot of, like, I made a page, like I just kind of just started it. And you see many different things going on. I don't want to overwhelm you, but it also would sometimes be, depending on even what you pay, how many people even viewed your profile. As you see here, there's things that you can add, like skills. So if it's writing, like Miss Nigga has a book, it could be public speaking, could be community service, things that I do, whatever it is that you want to add on to yourself, you're able to kind of add there. Know more about you. Currently working, so many of you all maybe not have a job, but there's an opportunity to just kind of put what college you go to, maybe your GPA, courses you're taking. Just want to continue to add on. It could be a part-time job or things you've done in high school. So they do suggest, and it will tell you where it says intermediate. It'll kind of let you know if you create a full-scale profile, and it'll give you like kind of like a pat on the back as you kind of create that full profile. But there's no rush. It won't say that you're incomplete. It'll allow you to go on your speed, and that's why I really recommend connecting with your college coach, because you guys can do it together. Sometimes don't really know how to pull our skills out or realize what we're doing, and it's a professional way to put it on the internet. So you'll have, it says Coach Joe, but you're able to put a professional picture of yourself or not, whatever you prefer, based on your privacy. I know there is another PowerPoint that, I've worked with the coaches that we can get out to you that kind of breaks it down even further. But this is just for today, just kind of really emphasizing the importance of having a LinkedIn profile, things that it can do for you. On the top, you see the home. It's kind of like going to your student portal page, right? Where you see your financial aid, you got your courses, your GPA, your transcript. You're able to kind of add these things and really like your own little website professionally. So there's just different ways to add different things here. You have notifications, messages, all these things. And like I said, there's an iPhone or Android app where these things can come directly, and you can edit it there as well. Using the job search. So suggested searches. So like I said here, you're able to kind of, it'll link. So when I put teacher, see how at the bottom it says recommended jobs. So it says MCPS is hiring a special education teacher based on what I share with them. So the more you share, the more that it will recommend to you where you should apply. And it could be locally, it could be nationally. The system that kind of works for you. We're hopefully working on creating, but also you have your coaches, you have your career center, you have your network of friends and alumni from high school or college. You never know what people are doing, and you're able to work with them to see opportunities or just stay in touch. To the left, there's different job alerts so you can set up salary goals that you have. You're able to put entry level, internship, all these things. And as you continue to build, you'll be able to elaborate on what you're looking for. So it's a really good system that works for you. Just additional, like I said, is just to connect with your coach. Your coach is really here to coach you through this, to be through this step. Somebody mentioned using it for. There could be things that I see that someone else doesn't see. So just connect with your coach, and you guys can go through the whole page. There is a checklist that I want to share that is a visual, and it'll help you feel like, okay, I've accomplished enough. And like I said, you can use it, spend the time, an hour out of your week to work on it, or maybe after your semester, you have spring break. I don't know if we can click that link to kind of show you what the checklist looks like. It's just really visual. What worked for me is to see, hey, have I done the most important things to have a LinkedIn profile? So are we able to share that?
Yeah, I'll put these in the chat when we are closing up the LinkedIn portion.
Gotcha. And then, so like I said, it was a short 2-minute video of what LinkedIn is. So that'll be in the chat box as well. I really recommend watching that, hearing from someone from LinkedIn kind of describe the benefits and why it's good to have one. So like I said, I know I reached out to all my upperclassmen, but it's also good to start early on. Being really informed with your school, connecting with other resources and companies. I really appreciate you all being here today and learning more. Definitely schedule time with your coach, and we'll make sure your LinkedIn looks really good. I think we have one more slide. The last step is after you establish your account, join us. It's the way to stay connected with coaches, College Tracks. We have a College Tracks network page where we post different job jobs or internships or opportunities. But also we want to hear from you. A lot of college track scholars give back, tell their story. And that's a way to just stay connected with us as you venture off, or we even maybe venture off to different opportunities. So look forward to seeing you all on our LinkedIn network page.
And Coach Joe, very quickly before we finish up here, would you like me to share the College Tracks Network or your Coach Joe profile?
Sure. And if I'm even able to share my screen, I just did want to show an example of Terrence's page as well. If we have.
Let me see.
Because my Coach Joe profile is kind of limited, but it's just to get it started. I have a scholar that has a great profile, and I just want to really show you all that I think he has a little bit of everything that that we can looking forward to having.
Okay, you should be able to share.
Okay, let me see here. Okay, thanks for your patience. So this is one of my good guys, Terrence. He attends Johns Hopkins University. So you'll see here, this is his page. Okay, so here's his picture. It says open for network. All right, so you can has a nice little background. Got his location. He's a fellow. What he's doing right now currently. I'm sorry, Johns Hopkins. He's going to UMBC. He's doing so many different researches and things going on. So he's connected to, see where it said the highlights. He's able to share that we're both connected to the College Track Network page, which is really great to see. There's an about me section, just like we have in our resume, about like objective, kind of introducing yourself formally. And then activity. I think someone mentioned about what people are doing or reading, but it's kind of tracks like, you know, what you've liked, what you're reading, what you posted recently. So just want to share like the college part of experience. This is where he just lists the school he's going to, how long he's been there, what he's doing right now. You know, he has this, so you see more. So just really kind of sharing the projects or research that he's doing. So he's had some fellowships, right? And things that he's done in the past, like a founder. So I know someone mentioned about being a business owner. Just education. So he's able to put some of the courses or volunteers that he's done, former Walker's Mill alumni like myself, things that he's been a part of. So as I look at this and I scroll down here, I see some of the things that he's completed, CNA, you know, volunteering. So it's just really a wide variety of ways to really endorse yourself so that other people who are doing background on you for job opportunities and internships, when you put that in your cover letter, when we go to professional writing, this would be a great way where people can quickly say, hey, let me learn about you and see what you can qualify. Skills, courses, as I mentioned, and honors, languages, organizations, interests. So here's some different things here. So I just wanted to share that just as a visual. Like I said, go connect with your success coach, and we'll continue to work with you to provide workshops that can go even deeper. But if you're headed to the Speed Network event next month, it will be a great way to share to them as you go into your breakout room. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach Joe. That was really good information on how to enhance and get started with LinkedIn. If anybody has any questions, we'll be doing question and answer towards the end. For now, I'm going to turn it over to Coach Nicole. And let me share my screen once again. And okay, Coach Nicole, you can take it away.
Thank you. All right, so this next half is going to switch a little bit to focus on professional writing, which is still applicable to people who are making or editing their LinkedIn profiles, since you would definitely want to employ these same tactics, but you would also use some of these tips as well when communicating with professors, internship supervisors, bosses, and even your success coach. So we can go to the next slide. So the first thing I thought we could start off with was an email guide, and it might sound, you know, kind of ridiculous to talk about why do we have to have a certain format for emails, but I think we want to be really cognizant when we are talking to professors or people who might be interviewing us, or a potential boss for a job that we're looking into, that we are conducting ourselves in a way that is as professional as possible to give us the best chance of, you know, meeting our goal, whether that is to get hired or to have a request honored if we're asking something a professor. So the first thing that I always tell students is to start off with some sort of greeting using the recipient's formal title. So if the professor has their doctorate, make sure you call them doctor. If you're not sure, you can always default to professor. If you are sending an email that contains a cover letter, you want to make sure you address it to the person who is receiving it instead of just to whom it may concern. I do tell people that if you absolutely cannot find who to send it to on the website or on the job app, then it's okay just to say good morning or good evening, comma, and go into it. But if you are able to find the person to send it to, definitely use their formal title. If you have a pre-existing relationship with the person, if you already introduced yourself to the professor, if you had the interview already, make sure you start with an opening line before you jump right into the request or update. Thank you again for the interview, or it was really nice meeting you at class today, or I hope your week is going well. That way, when you jump into the body, whether that's a question or a request you're making, it's not super abrupt and it's a little bit friendlier. If this is a new correspondence, if your coach is introducing you to a contact you might be able to network with, if you have not met this professor yet, make sure you introduce yourself and say, my name is Nicole Malamet and I'm a student in your English 101 class section, 0201. Or my name is Nicole Malamet and Coach Victoria mentioned that you might be a great contact to have since I'm also interested in the field of. Make sure that you give some sort of background in case the person might not know who you are, especially professors, since they have hundreds, maybe even more students. All right, so you can go on to the next slide. So I have two examples here of sample emails with the same content, but slightly different wording. So on the first side is an email that looks very similar to, a lot of emails that I receive as a coach, or that I know a lot of my friends who work in higher education may receive. And this is not necessarily a bad email because it is polite, it is asking, it is concise, the student is still asking what they want, but I do think that there are opportunities for improvement. So if you want to go ahead and read it to yourselves, it says, good evening, Professor Hart. My name is Michael Quintana. Yeah, I made up all these names, by the way, these are not real people. And I'm a student in your Calc 140 section 001 course. I wanted to let you know that I had to turn in my homework assignment late because I ended up having to babysit my little brother last minute. I'm hoping you'll waive the penalty because I'm completely swamped with work and I didn't know I'd have to babysit. Thanks again, Michael. So again, not a bad email, but if we want to give ourselves the best chance possible as students to have the request honored, if we want to make it as professional as possible, another good way to go about it would to proofread. So we want to take away all the contractions, all the internet slang. We want to make sure that we're writing out the full words. That'd be the first one. I liked that the student introduced themselves in the first line. They gave some background as to the course and the section that they are in. But I also like that in the second one, they are giving a little bit background into why the professor should honor it. So instead of just saying, I had to babysit my little brother, give them a little bit of a reason. Tell them, I normally turn things in on time, or I was working on this and something unexpectedly came up. So in the second one, they mentioned that they had been working on the assignment. And then when it came to do the last little bit is when they were asked to babysit. Also giving a reason by reassuring the professor that something like that won't happen again, or reassuring that it's a rare occasion, something like that. Just making sure that the person who is receiving the email understands that you're not just asking for something, without anything in return. There was one more thing I wanted to mention. And in both cases, the closing, it's optional, but sometimes if you don't want to put, I'm in your Calc 140 class, you could put underneath your name right here. Oh no, you can't see my mouse, where it says, thank you again, Michael. Underneath Michael, you could write Calc 140 section 001, or you could put student ID and you could put the number there. That'd be professors only, not if you're applying for a job or anything. So you can go on to the next slide. So we have a little bit of a practice if anybody wants to try a sample email. So the first one says, Vanessa is a student in Dr. Vasquez's Math 110, Section 201 course. She had a family emergency in this class. She has never emailed Dr. Vasquez before. We can pretend it's a big lecture. What is one way that she could email him to let him know the reason for her previous absence? Does anyone want to try and just verbalize a sample email?
Well, let's go over to Mind Map really quick because I put it on the sticky notes.
Oh, cool.
So I translated over the question right here, and I can type in all of the responses here.
Anybody want to try? Everyone's learning all together, so don't worry about a potential mistake or something.
I'm going to call on somebody soon. Emmanuel.
Yes.
Do you want to give it a shot, Emmanuel?
Yeah.
So what is the first thing that this student, Vanessa, should say to Dr. Vasquez if she's drafting an email?
Dear Dr. Vasquez.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I hope you are well.
Excellent.
I just wanted to inform you that I have a emergency. I am not sure about it.
You're doing great. Keep going.
You were all practicing together.
And she has never emailed Dr. Vasquez. So I will introduce myself saying I am Emmanuel Cruz.
So do you want me to erase everything?
Maybe just after Dr. Vasquez say, my name is Emmanuel Cruz and I am your student.
That's great.
And I just will say that I was absent because I have an emergency.
Yeah. If you ever have, something come up unexpected, a family obligation, something that you have to do for, a family friend, but you don't want to disclose the reason, whether it's private or it's just a complicated, occasion, I think using the term family emergency can that can encompass many things without giving away something that you may want to keep private. And I think professors are generally pretty respectful of not trying to pry if you do choose to use that term. So that can just be a little tip to use the term family emergency if you don't want to disclose the full extent or the full explanation of something. Does anyone want to try one of the other ones? This next one would be more for networking purposes. So Mohammed recently interviewed for a summer internship. He wants to email and thank his interviewer, Miss Vo. What is one way that Mohammed could word the email to Mrs. Vo?
Who wants to speak up?
So far, I just have good morning, Miss Fo. I hope this email finds you well.
Great.
I would like, oh wait, hold on. I just have to reread the question one more time.
It's just a thank you email.
Oh, okay.
After an interview.
I would like to thank you for the opportunity of giving me an interview.
Yeah.
And then I would put something else between there, but my ending would, if you have any questions, please contact me, and I would include my phone number that she could reach me, and
amazing,
and an email. But yeah, there's just a missing part after interview, but that would be my ending.
I think that is fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for the sake of time, so I want to make sure we get to the Q&A, we can skip the third one. And then just some final considerations is just to be aware of when you are emailing a professor, your success coach. I know with my scholars, I always tell them, you know, I'm available Monday through Friday, but if you message me on a Saturday or Sunday, you're not going to get a reply until Monday morning. And the same thing is most likely true for your professors as well. And then you can also consider, you know, an existing relationship. If this is your success coach that you've known for a year or two, you might communicate with them a little bit differently than with the professor that you've only known for a few weeks of the semester. And then you also want to be aware of the amount of details that you are putting into your email. And by that, I just mean, you know, using the term family emergency versus I was babysitting my 3 brothers and, you know, my mom had to run out and get something, so I had to watch them. You can just say, I had something come up, just because usually the people on the receiving end are getting lots of emails throughout the day. So you want to make it as quick as possible so you can get to the point for them. And that is it.
Now the floor is open for any questions that we can answer. This is relevant for the LinkedIn portion as well as professional.
I actually have a question, if you don't mind. This is Ms. Rachel. I was wondering if there are certain keywords. I don't think you addressed this, Joe. If there's certain keywords that you want to have in your profile on LinkedIn to help with searches, because I know that sometimes on, you know, internet searches, there's certain things that people want to see. So, are there any? Is there like a list of good words to have in your description of yourself?
I think like when people, like when you apply for a job and a database pulls a search, I don't think your about me. And we can go further into that. It's really just introducing yourself, you know, and I think that's just really an individual level, you know, being really precise. But there is like where you can add to your career, like different skill sets that you have that'll pull information towards you, so you can select different key skills that will allow your profile to be pulled. But in regards to your about me, I think that's almost like another workshop about this, you know, breaking down how to introduce yourself. And, you know, like I said, going back to your, you know, linking up with your coach. But I think on the example, I didn't, but if I go back to Terrence's, I can show you an example of his. Well, actually, I did do a small, but I think, no, that's not. I must have I don't know if I did. But yeah, it's just for anyone in college, it's really a quick share to show where you are at and where you want to go, what you're currently doing. So I think it's more like a key approach to share who you are.
If I can add some words, what I like to recommend is to do a little bit of research on the job postings or the job or positions that you're interested in or that you're aiming to get, and maybe select some keywords that are already listed on the listings. Like you can basically make a list of keywords that other people are using, and try to use those in your description because they're searchable, and you want them to be, relevant to the position you're looking for.
I have a follow-up there. Could we say that skill translates into the cover letter as well? Do we want to have the same kind of keywords from the job description in the cover letter that are also in our resume, that are also in our LinkedIn profile?
Yeah, I think that About Me is like a cover letter. I think that your LinkedIn page isn't geared to applying for one job. It's just really to show you are to. So then when you're, so I'm not familiar with the words being searched from there. I just know that from the activity or your skills that you have, that will portray. So it's really a way for supervisors and hiring managers to do their own background check on you to see more. So it's just a way, a lot of times you want to narrow your cover letter. You want to specifically gear it to your job. But this is just a place to discuss and talk about yourself. So for me personally, I might talk about my former jobs in the past compared to in a resume, just listing some of the skills I've done at that job, going a little deeper in your experiences, or just saying, where you're at or what you're looking for and gaining. So if it's a internship, entry-level job, fellowship, or whatnot, that's a great place to kind of elaborate on and share about you. Because many of y'all scholars are doing so much, and I think it's a way for you to break it down with words.
And I have one more question. Why, you mentioned it early in the presentation, but why would I want to know anything about, some things that are going on in the organization? Like, why would I follow that news, or why would I want to know what the CEO is posting? Why would I want to follow that?
Sure. It could help guide you on. So I have someone who wanted to work at Capital One, and I think Deloitte, however you say it, and it was just good to hear you could see the continued mission of the organization. So when you have these meetings and you mention some of these things, it's a really good way to impress them as you're interested in working with them. Even with your school, like I said, there's many opportunities that are posted on there. Some things that are posted on LinkedIn that aren't on Indeed, and vice versa. So, it's good to see different, like I said, programs, opportunities, to see what interests them. And that kind of creates good conversation. So I think even for two of my scholars, I didn't even remember, because it's a big network, that she wanted to work for Capital One, and she recently did an internship with Northwestern Mutual, and I went to go and I realized that I had a friend of mine who was a recruiter for them, and then able to connect them. And I'm also I always post some of my scholars' resumes on there, and I've had people that I don't even know I'm still connected with reach back out to me, like, hey, I'd like to talk to so-and-so about, our organization and things like that. But overall, it's a great way to just, in a website, they might post, the business stuff, but on a professional LinkedIn page, that CEO, that manager, you can see their activity, what interests them, and that'll create some good conversation, and be able to gear it toward how you're reaching out to them for either an informal or formal opportunity.
The floor is open for any other questions.
Hi, I have a question. This is like a very dumb question. I don't know if you talked about this earlier, but can you keep your account private?
So what you can do is, yes, you can go to settings and you're able to kind of filter what you want to share or post, what people can see. You can set it to where, let's say, connections only or like public. So it's kind of similar to Facebook, just as I was kind of saying earlier. So you can wait. Sometimes you can set it up to where people can only add you if they have your email. So that means you really have to be connected to them. So there are filters to create that security, that privacy. You post things. Like I said, it could be to specific groups. So I always piggyback off of Facebook how you can kind of filter what people can see until they're your connection. Even when they're connecting, you can filter it to what some people can and cannot see. And if you need any help with that, Samantha, like I said, just connect with your coach. We can go into the settings and make sure you feel comfortable about what you want to share and not share.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. So I don't know even if it's a fake page, but if you went to LinkedIn, even maybe showing them the College Track Network page, Victoria, just to show that. So in that post right there, so you scroll down, you'll see me, right? And you'll see that I do repost a lot of things in there, just so that, there's opportunities like there's IFC has many summer internships that are coming out, Kaiser Permanente. So I follow a lot of organizations just to help my scholars. I'm not interested in Kaiser Permanente, but I know that many of my scholars are trying to look for opportunities. So as a coach, I try to stay informed, but also use my own personal network. And there's many times where I might share a resume or some interest to see who can connect with you all. So we all network is net worth. And I think as much as you can connect with people and use the relationship you have with us, you'll be informed with opportunities that are post, the Success Program. And don't forget that we have our own College Success page where Ms. Victoria and Ms. Rachel post a lot of good information or jobs as well. So, like I tell people about scholarships, it's great to have these resources. When you become an adult, you're kind of really more on your own, as much as you are, working that way yourself now. So I look forward to, like I said, I had many different organizations and people, and I think it's almost in a way that so they can even see me and introduce them. There's many different events that are going on that you can learn about, to attend, forums, virtual things that you can go to. So, we're in a virtual world. It's a great place to utilize.
Thank you,
The
Coach. Thank you, Coach
checklist. Did you put the were you able to show
Oh,
that?
yes. Yes.
Is really great. Like I said, there was a more extensive PowerPoint and really breaking down a lot of LinkedIn, but for time's sake, we wanted to, use an hour. So I recommend connecting with the coach. And the coaches will even thank you to Ms. Beechel, who actually worked with that as well. I think we can continue to sharpen that and share with our scholars on a quarterly or annually basis to allow you to see. Like I said, many people are on different stages at LinkedIn. Many of us are, either directors or coaches or scholars or freshmen or seniors. So just know that wherever you're at, you can continue to add things and learn, grow, and working with your coach, you'll be able to kind of pull some of the great things that you're doing, put on your page. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Coach Joe, and thank you. If you have not been to the College Tracks website yet, I suggest that you either write down this link or go into one of the previous emails that your coach has sent out to you, because it will be in their email signature. And for the checklist and the video, as well as a recording of this presentation, it will all be on our website and you can reference it there. If you do have more questions, please reach out to your coach. We'll be happy to work with you on either creating or enhancing your LinkedIn profile and working on your resume, cover letter, etc. Thank you all for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.